Hi, I'm Ross Snyder, one of the violinists with the Tesla Quartet, and I'm joined here by Beatrice Ferreira, who wrote one of the 12 new works for the Tesla Quartet through our alternating currents commissioning project. And we're going to have a nice conversation today. So, Beatrice, thanks for joining me, taking the time to talk, and thank you for writing us such a wonderful piece of music.
Thanks for having me, Ross.
Yeah, so I just wanted to jump right in and actually talk about the piece you wrote because it uses the bow in a particular way that is very unusual and I don't think I've ever seen done before. And it's a technique called a la Gironda where we detach the hair from the stick and play so we can play all four strings at once. Um, can you talk about how you came across this technique and what inspired you to put this in the music?
I think my background in fiddle music has kind of led me to want to explore different types of vernacular extended techniques in
Mhm.
string quartet playing. And I first came across the Allegaronda bow technique in Evan Price's 2017 video of a Django Reinhardt improvisation. Um, I thought it was a really interesting technique that allowed extended harmonies because three and four strings could be droned or played at the same time. And I thought it could be interesting to create that technique and expand it in a string quartet setting where extended harmonies could be held for long periods of time.
Mhm. Well, it's really cool, and actually, it since it was a new bowing technique for us, at least for me, I know I've never really done it. Actually, it's also even though you're playing with the bow differently, the left hand technique is also a little different. Um, Having to block all the voices at once, and there's a little less of the kind of the rolling flexibility. So um, it was a challenge, and actually, it's been a while since I had that kind of sense of achievement, like where I really had to conquer something new. Like something
Oh,
that
that makes me
that
so
like
happy.
like it really works you and tests your limits. And so yeah, it was like at first like it just sounds. I sounded like a 5 year old who could play chords. I mean, it was really like it sounded pretty bad. But the more and more I did it, the more and more I became comfortable, and yeah, so like I felt like a beginner again. At my point in the career, that's that's kind of a rare thing. Um,
Oh, I think to have that attitude and to be willing to try something different, and I love kind of the imperfections of the
mm,
technique too. But to have you guys approach it like with the attitude of
mm,
really trying to conquer it is just
mm,
I'm a lucky writer
sure.
to have
And
such a game ensemble.
speaking of composers who write music that's difficult for their performers, can you talk about Beethoven a little bit? Your thoughts about Beethoven, because um, the more composers we've talked to through this project, we've realized that um, their relationships to Beethoven are quite varied, and as string quartet players, we have a fondness for Beethoven, a real love for his music because his string quartets are kind of some of the seminal works in the genre. But in the 21st century, like, what is your perspective on Beethoven? Because that was kind of the impetus for all the music.
Yeah, I think I have a lot of respect for Beethoven. I think he was a provocative composer for his time, and you can see the elements of challenge and radicalism that were in his music. And then in a strange way, as time has progressed, he hasn't become the radical provocateur, but sort of the golden standard um,
Yeah.
perfection in string quartet music. So I think the inquiry into writing with the Allegaronda technique started as me wanting to kind of marry some of the sounds of my past with a classical melody, but I realized in conversations with the quartet and after hearing the music for the first time that there was sort of a destabilizing effect
Hmm.
that was happening. And I think that the moment in time that I received the commission from you was a sort of a moment in North America where we were sort of questioning um, what we have learned and who our cultural greats are and
Hmm.
whether they deserve to hold the position that they do. And so I think that some of the idea of uncertainty and questioning and sort of destabilizing of the status quo is sort of there in the
Hmm.
music, and is something that I'd like um, to hopefully tease out a little bit more when I continue
Sure.
working with this technique.
Yeah. Well, definitely, I see the parallels that you talk about, between kind of the essence of Beethoven as an artist, and how it's changed, but now some elements are still true and still there and still relevant, but maybe we look at them in a different light today. So, and it's great that somehow this has led to commentary on what's going on now. Like, because I think that's really a powerful part of music, is to be able to share a voice and an opinion in a way that isn't just kind of like screaming into the void, on social media. And I think music still can do that. So, what else are you working on now? Do you have any current or upcoming projects that are exciting that you want to share?
Well, I'm currently in the throes of completing a duo for one of my closest friends, Jacqueline Leclerc.
Mm-hmm.
She's a Montreal and New York based oboist,
Mm-hmm.
for her upcoming CD with New Focus. And after that, I have sort of a longer scale string quartet that I'm writing, sort of a reflection on issues related to climate justice,
Uh huh.
that will be premiered in partnership with the organization Extinction Rebellion
Okay.
later in 2021. Yeah.
Cool. Great. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time and your thoughts today. I really appreciate you taking the time. And thank you again for the music. And yeah, so best of luck to you.
Yeah. Thanks, Ross.
All
Thanks for
right.
having me.
You're
Take
welcome.
care.
Bye.